Evan Brooks didn't bring the product to the service counter because he wanted a free upgrade. He brought it because it stopped working in his hands. The item sat in a padded case on the counter like something fragile and expensive, because it was. A Vanta Sound wireless speaker, sleek black mesh, the kind people bought when they wanted their apartment to feel bigger than it was. Evan had saved for it. Not impulse buy saved, real saved. Skipping lunches, delaying a haircut, saying no to a weekend trip with friends. He bought it 3 months ago for his new place, a small one-bedroom that still echoed with empty corners. The speaker made it feel alive. Then, on Sunday night, it died. No warning tone, no blinking lights, just silence. Like someone turned the volume down on his life. Evan was black, 32, and he'd learned the hard way that when you walk into a service center with a broken device, you have to be calm enough to not be labeled difficult and prepared enough to not be dismissed. So he came prepared. He had the receipt in his email. He had the warranty card in his bag. He had the product box at home with the serial number label, though he didn't think he'd need it, because the serial number was also etched into the bottom of the speaker. He walked into Tech Hub Service Center on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, water dripping from his jacket onto the entry mat. The store smelled like plastic packaging and floor cleaner. Bright lights, glossy counters, a line of customers holding devices like offerings. Behind the counter, a white man in his late 20s greeted people with a practiced smile. Name tag, Ryan, customer service. Next, Ryan called. Evan stepped forward and placed the speaker case on the counter gently. "Hi," Evan said, voice polite. "This speaker won't power on. It's under warranty. I need a repair or replacement." Ryan's smile stayed in place, but his eyes flicked over Evan in a quick scan, clothes, posture, face, then landed on the speaker. "Okay," Ryan said. "Do you have proof of purchase?" "Yes," Evan replied, already opening his phone to the email receipt. Ryan held up a hand. "We don't use phone screens. We need a printed receipt." Evan paused. "I can forward it to your email right now." Ryan's smile tightened. "Company policy, printed or no warranty." Evan kept his voice calm. "I can print it at the kiosk here." Ryan nodded like he'd won something. "Sure." Evan walked to the self-serve kiosk, logged into his email, printed the receipt. The paper came out warm. He brought it back and slid it across the counter. Ryan glanced at it, then typed something into his computer. "What's the model?" Ryan asked. "Vanta Sound 3, Evan said. Ryan tapped. "Serial number?" Evan flipped the speaker gently and pointed to the etched characters on the bottom. Ryan didn't lean in. "Read it." Evan read it slowly, careful not to transpose letters. "VS-A 3-8 K2-1 9F-L6. Ryan typed, then frowned. He typed again. Then he leaned back and said, "Flat. It's out of warranty." Evan blinked. "That's not possible. I bought it 3 months ago." Ryan shrugged slightly. "The system says warranty expired." Evan felt heat rise in his chest, but he kept his voice even. "Can you check the purchase date on the receipt?" Ryan glanced at the receipt like it bored him. "Purchase date doesn't matter if warranty wasn't activated." Evan stared. "It's a manufacturer warranty. It doesn't require activation." Ryan's tone sharpened. "Some do." Evan kept calm. "Vanta Sound's warranty is 1 year from purchase." Ryan's eyebrows lifted, faintly mocking. "Are you a Vanta Sound representative?" Evan felt the trap again, expertise used as a wall. "I'm the customer," Evan said evenly. "I'm telling you what the warranty states." Ryan's smile faded. "Sir, if the serial lookup says it's out of warranty, it's out of warranty." Evan leaned in slightly. "Then the serial lookup is wrong, because the receipt shows purchase in October." Ryan tapped his keyboard again, then turned the monitor slightly away as if to end the conversation with body language. Out of warranty, Ryan repeated, slower, like repetition made it true. Evan looked around. A white woman at the next station laughed with another rep while getting her laptop checked. A white man in a baseball cap got offered no-charge diagnostics for a phone crack that looked like it lost a fight with concrete. Evan swallowed his frustration. He turned back to Ryan. "What date does your system show for warranty start?" Ryan's mouth tightened. "It started 2 years ago." Evan stared. 2 years ago? This model came out last year." Ryan shrugged. "Then you bought old stock." Evan's jaw tightened. "Or your system matched the wrong serial." Ryan leaned forward slightly, voice lowering into something that felt like a warning. "Sir, we see a lot of people try to return items they didn't buy here. If you don't have warranty coverage, your option is paid repair." Evan went still. That sentence wasn't about the speaker. It was about suspicion. Evan's voice stayed calm, but it sharpened. "I bought it here. I printed the receipt from your store." Ryan glanced at the receipt again, then said, "Receipts can be replicated." Evan stared at him. For a second, he felt that dangerous surge, anger wanting to rise into his throat and become volume. He forced it down, breathed slowly, and did what he always did when someone tried to turn him into a stereotype. He got more specific. "Ryan," Evan said evenly, "the serial number is etched on the unit, but there's also a barcode label inside the battery compartment and on the box. Sometimes the etched number is a chassis code, not the warranty serial. If you scan the barcode, it will pull the correct warranty record." Ryan's eyes narrowed. "We don't open units." Evan held his gaze. "Then scan the barcode on the bottom with your scanner. Not manual entry. Scanning prevents typos." Ryan's jaw tightened. He looked like he didn't want to give Evan the satisfaction of being right about anything. "We don't have a scanner for that," Ryan said. Evan pointed calmly to the scanner sitting 2 feet away, used for checking in devices. It was literally on the counter. Ryan's cheeks flushed. "That scanner is for service tickets." Evan's voice stayed low. "Then use it for the service ticket. Scan the serial." A tense pause. Ryan stared at Evan like he was trying to decide whether to punish him for insisting. Finally, Ryan grabbed the scanner with a sharp motion, scanned the barcode on the speaker's base, and waited. A beep. Ryan's face changed, just slightly. A flicker. He clicked again on his computer. Evan watched closely. Ryan's mouth tightened. "Huh." Evan's pulse kicked. "What does it show?" Ryan didn't answer immediately. He clicked through tabs, eyes moving faster now. Evan could see it happening, the system finally pulling a record that didn't match Ryan's confident, out of warranty. Ryan cleared his throat and tried to keep his face neutral. "It's loading." Evan stayed still, calm, letting the silence do its work. Because if the serial number lookup proved coverage, it wouldn't just fix his speaker. It would expose what Ryan had been doing all along, deciding no first and only checking properly when pushed. And Evan was done accepting no from someone who hadn't even looked. Ryan clicked through the service screen like he was trying to outrun what it was about to say. Evan stood still on the customer side of the counter, hands resting lightly on the padded case so nobody could claim he was reaching or looming. He watched Ryan's face, tiny shifts around the mouth, the eyes narrowing, the swallow that came a beat too late. The scanner lay on the counter between them now, suddenly relevant in a way it hadn't been 5 minutes ago. Ryan's screen finished loading. He stared at it, then he cleared his throat. "Well," Ryan said, voice stiff, "it shows limited coverage." Evan's eyes narrowed. "Limited how?" Ryan avoided eye contact and clicked again. "It's under a different warranty type." Evan kept his tone calm. Read what it says. Ryan's jaw tightened, but he leaned closer to the monitor. It says, manufacturer warranty active. Evan's chest loosened slightly. Active until when? Ryan hesitated. The hesitation was the tell, his pride fighting his job. It says, Ryan muttered, coverage through next October. Evan stared at him for a beat. So it was covered. Exactly like Evan said. Exactly like the receipt proved. Exactly like Ryan refused to acknowledge until the barcode forced the truth onto the screen. Evan kept his voice low. So it's not out of warranty. Ryan's cheeks flushed. The manual entry showed out of warranty. Evan didn't let him hide behind the word manual. Because you typed it wrong, or the system matched the wrong record. Ryan's tone sharpened. I didn't type it wrong. Evan didn't raise his voice. Then the etched characters are not the warranty serial, which is why I asked you to scan it. Ryan's mouth tightened. He clicked again, then said, clipped, okay, it's covered. Not, I'm sorry. Not, you were right. Just, covered. Evan nodded once. Good. So we can process the warranty repair. Ryan reached for a form and slid it forward. Fill this out. Evan picked up the pen and wrote carefully. Name, phone number, email, address. He didn't rush because rushed handwriting became illegible later. When he finished, Ryan took the form and asked, any physical damage, water exposure, drops? Evan held his gaze. No. Ryan's eyes flicked to the speaker, then back to Evan. Because if there's damage, warranty can be denied. Evan felt the sting of that implication. One more attempt to frame him as someone trying something. He kept his voice calm. You can inspect it. Ryan opened the case, lifted the speaker with 2 hands, and turned it over under the bright counter lights. He looked for scratches, dents, anything he could point to. Evan watched silently. Ryan didn't find anything obvious. He set it down with a controlled motion and typed again. Then he said, we'll send it to the service depot. Turnaround is 10 to 14 business days. Evan nodded. Okay. Ryan printed a service ticket and slid it across. Evan looked at it, and his jaw tightened again. Under customer notes, it said, customer claims under warranty. Warranty status disputed. Evan stared at the line. Disputed? Evan repeated calmly. Ryan didn't look up. It's just internal notes. Evan's voice stayed even. Remove it. Ryan finally looked up, irritated. Sir, it's just a note. Evan kept his tone low and precise. A note that implies I tried to get service without coverage. You told me I was out of warranty. I asked you to scan the serial. The scan proved coverage. There is no dispute. You were wrong. Ryan's cheeks reddened. I was going off what the system, Evan cut in gently. The system you chose to trust when it said no. The same system you questioned when it said yes. Remove the note. A silence stretched between them. A couple people in line shifted, listening. Someone's phone chimed. The store felt suddenly too bright. Ryan's jaw flexed. Then he took the ticket back with a sharp motion and typed. Evan watched his hands, fast, annoyed keystrokes. Ryan printed a new ticket and slid it forward again. Evan read it. Customer reports device will not power on. Warranty verified via serial scan. Evan nodded once. Thank you. Ryan's mouth tightened. Anything else? Evan held his gaze for a beat, calm and steady. Yes, Evan said quietly. I want a copy of the serial number lookup showing coverage. Ryan blinked. We don't give that. Evan didn't argue. Then print the warranty status section on the ticket. It already says verified. I want it for my records. Ryan stared, then exhaled sharply. He clicked and printed an extra page. Warranty status summary without any screen details Evan could photograph from across the counter. He slid it over. Evan took it and tucked it into his folder with the receipt. Then he looked at Ryan, voice calm, not threatening, just factual. "When you told me out of warranty, you didn't check properly," Evan said. "If I hadn't pushed, you would have sent me away." Ryan's eyes hardened. "I handled it." Evan nodded slightly. "After I made you scan it." Ryan didn't respond. Evan zipped the empty case, adjusted his jacket, and stepped away from the counter. As he walked toward the exit, he felt the familiar mix: relief that he'd protected his money, and anger that it took this much precision to be treated like a legitimate customer. At the door, he paused and looked down at the papers in his hand. Receipt. Service ticket. Warranty verified. Proof. Because Evan already knew something. This wouldn't be the last time someone tried to say no like it was final, until a lookup proved otherwise.